Hey, it's Justin, J. Howell Custom Home Builder, and welcome back to our Valley View house. Today we're going to take a look at interior brick and this fireplace behind me. Previously, we looked at the exterior brick, which was modular on the outside of the house. Today we're going to take a look at interior details. So we're standing in front of the fireplace now. This is an application of interior brick, and in this case it's thin brick. We'll take a closer look at that. But if we zoom out and look at the overall design of this fireplace, it is custom designed. We worked with the homeowner and the designer to get to this point, and the fireplace that you see here, what we're going for is a very long, linear type fireplace without an actual longer linear box. The actual materials used for the fireplace, like I mentioned, it's thin brick. This thin brick was once thicker modular brick, but it's been cut down, thinly sliced. And that's what we have here. It can be put up against a Durarock or a cemented board type panel, or even to drywall. But that's simply put up with a wire lath that's stapled or nailed to the material behind it. A scratch coat is put on there, and then over the top of that, with mortar, the thin brick is adhered. So the thin brick is actually adhered to that. We're very intentional about how we've put this together so that it looks like modular brick, so it doesn't look like it's wood framed. To save a little bit of money and it's a little more cost effective, we've used thin brick, and the majority of the reason it's cost effective is because of the labor. The brick is adhered. They come in, they tool it and put in a grout joint just like they would on any other brick. And then down here you'll notice that we have what looks like a full brick, but it's actually just a corner. So this brick here, or these bricks, are all L-shaped. They make a shape like this, and they simply just go over our substrate in behind that and go over that and are mortared on there. So moving on past the brick, when we look at the fireplace, this is a gas insert, or a gas fireplace. Is actually a Napoleon. I really like Napoleon products. They've really held up well, and we have very few warranty callbacks. When we look at this, we see the real thin profile of the fireplace itself. We do have the glass over the top of this. It gets a safety screen. We have all of our internal components on the inside, and then that is vented up and through the fireplace chase. So inside of here, it's framed with both non-combustible metal studs and wood framing. We have both in the case because of clearances and tolerances that are specified by the manufacturer that we have to adhere to. But that flue goes up and out. And speaking of that, we should maybe step outside and take a look at the exterior details of this fireplace. I can talk a little bit more about that. Okay, so we've moved outside. We're now on the back patio of the house, and check out that view. Looking at the exterior detail of this fireplace, very similar to the inside, right? And that's because it's the same material. It's a thin brick. This has had time to cure, so our grout lines are now a light gray instead of the darker color that's on the inside. This is similar to the inside because it's framed. We have our substrate, and then the thin brick is adhered with mortar to that. If you look at this little detail here, you'll notice we have our composite decking going up underneath. There's a gap here. We're required to have a gap between the decking surface and the bottom of the brick. That's to allow any moisture to come out. If there's moisture that gets in behind the thin brick, it can then come out and weep out. That being said, we have this galvanized lashing detail that goes in and up behind the brick, and then out and over the top of our framing down below. There's a house wrap and all of that behind here, and behind all of that to prevent water from entering into the house. But that flashing is then to weep water out and away from the house and weep water out and away over the framing. Overall, the intention of its design, or what we're intending to do, is to make it look like it's one piece going from the interior to the exterior. All right, so that's a quick look at the fireplace here at the Valley View house and some of the details that went into constructing that. Overall, it's items like this that we incorporate into our houses that are custom, right? That we designed for the customer, with the customer, that hopefully will be one of a kind and that they can appreciate for a long time. So thanks for joining us today and looking at some of the details that we put in our homes, and can't wait to see you again.